Alrighty. It's your boy Benvolio. I'm back in the year of the rat. Look at these Plague Month sensor bears. This is my opponent charging in against me. This is Ignja playing as the Skaven. These are his Plague Monk sensor bears. They are a flail infantry with plague sensor, armor piercing, and damage to their infantry. What is the plague sensor? Ah, no, come on. Yeah, that's plague sensor. Dust and vile contagious fill this diabolical sensor. Exposure which does horrendous things to bodies and minds alike. Oh my god, it's like a virus. Oh boy. Because that's what they do. They spread disease, these Skavens. There's two groups of those Plague Monk sensor bearers spreading their virus balls of destruction. Look at this big old ball here. He's got a plague priest aboard an altar of plague or something. Yeah, it's a big swinging warpstone thing. Don't quite know what his mount is, but yeah, it's buffs their morale, I'm pretty sure. Just a nasty truck of death. He's got some clan rat spears. How many of those he's got? Let's zoom out a bit, take a look at all of his army. He's got 3 groups of clan rat spears, 1 with shields, 2 without. Any chevrons? No. Again, 3 groups of sensor bears, excuse me. He's got 3 groups of sensor bears in the back there. I got that wrong. Skaven slave spears over on his right flank, and clan rats over on his left flank. Out over here on top of the hill, he's got some Skaven slave spears, 2 groups, kind of guarding the flanks. Spears on the flanks, I mean, makes sense. Long pokey sticks in case I do some with cavalry. They can at least slow it down and be annoying. But I could pretty well chop right through him if I have the right cavalry. We'll have to see. You'll have to see if I do. So he's got those really weak on the flanks. I think that's it for his infantry. Let's take a quick look at his lord before we get to those monsters, which I'm sure you have spotted. So his lord here, Tretch, Craven Tail, Armored, Anti-Large, Melee Expert, and Charge against large bows. So, so I really shouldn't have, well, you'll see what I do. That was not really a good move, but seeing as he's anti-large, I know that now. I don't know Skaven too well. I don't play them too often, but so he's being led by Tretch, and he's got 2 of these double chevron Hell Pit Abominations, and I can tell you they were a massive pain. It looks like they've got reskinned since I've been playing last, as in they got this green glow going on, pulsing through them, because, well, they're basically GMOs made by Clan Molder, the Skaven in the Hell Pit, which is these mountains to the north of the Empire of Man. I'm pretty sure, anyway. But yeah, they brew them down there. They GMO, they graft the rats together. That's great. That's a big old nasty monster. So yeah, Year of the Rat. Indeed, 1 chevron on this guy, 2 in that, and you can see they were just a real handful. And now let's take a look at your boy Benvolio's army, because I'm back! Woo! Okay, first off, I got my war boss, standard war boss, generic war boss lord on his wyvern, which is like a bat and a rattlesnake that had a baby with a tiger shark as well, I think. That broad skull. Maybe it's even got cartilage. I don't know. It'd be nice to learn the physiology of wyverns. Anyways, some people say wyverns, and some people are wrong. So that's my war boss on his wyvern. Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired, wyvern boys. Start a fight. Okay, the Rusty Heirs immediately below him. I only brought 2 groups of missile infantry. These guys are Vanguard deployment, armor sundering stock, poison attacks. Maybe could have used them on the Vanguard, but I wanted to have archery behind the infantry just to be annoying, I guess. I only had 2 groups, and I went with Night Goblins because in both groups, because they have debuffing abilities, and I think that's the most effective that they can be is for that debuff that they're getting. Like, their damage isn't going to be great or whatever, but that constant debuff of maybe poison attacks and armor sundering is going to be useful to me, because I kind of went with a lot of infantry here in the middle, and then a lot of cavalry on the flanks. So see, I've got 2 groups of Savage Orcs. Got 1 chevron in them. I think I got 2 groups of Savage Orcs. Yeah, 2 groups of Savage Orcs. And I think 2 groups of Orc Boys. How many groups of Orc Boys? 1. Yeah, 2 groups of Orc Boys. All out in the front line, trying to spread them wide. And those Goblin Heirs in the back. And of course, anchoring everything will be the Black Orcs. Try to put them in kind of a middle field position. Kind of an advantageous position for all of them. So let's take a look. Yes, it's like a bull had a baby with a truck. Yeah, they're like human trucks, like bipedal trucks. Optimus Prime's nephews. I don't even know. I probably made that joke before. It's terrible. Let's take a quick look at my Savage Orc 2s. They got some interesting buffs as well. They got Damage Dealer, Frenzy, and War Paint. War Paint, I think, gives them some better physical resistance. Yeah, gives them some physical resistance, which just makes them a little hardier. I just wanted some solid infantry to just chew through, and then the plan is to go around, kind of classic, go around, take use of the wide array of Orcish cavalry that I can use. And so starting out here on my left flank, I'm sneaking around, and I somehow got this cavalry wrong, because there's a lot of micro involved in this plays, and I had to be on both sides of the battlefield microing cavalry pretty well, and unfortunately, you know, you get focused, your attention gets drawn because he's doing a good maneuver, and you forget to maneuver your cavalry, and they get wasted a bit. So I'm rusty. I haven't played in a while, so my cavalry game was a bit off. If my cavalry game had been on, I should have been able to wrap that up pretty easily, especially with an Orc Shaman, got those offensive spells. I love just dropping on units to delete them. That Foot of Gork he's got. Let's take a quick look at that Orc Shaman, Orc Great Shaman here. Didn't actually say anything about coming in here either, sorry. So Orc Shaman, yeah. Spellcaster, armor piercing damage. He's got some great spells. Foot of Gork, Fist of Mork. Like, Gork and Mork are the Orc gods. One's the I will hit you directly. That's Gork, I think. And then Mork's like the I will sneak around you and hit you. And that's the variation they have amongst their deities, the orcs. They're not terribly complex. You know, you could learn all about them in an afternoon. It's great, you know. Nice and simple, very straightforward. They're actually mushrooms, too. They're fungus. They spread by fungus. I didn't introduce the units again. There's Orc Boy, Orc Boy Biggins for an anti-large. Want to bring them for an anti-large, which ended up being a good idea because he did bring Help at Abominations. Would have been more ideal at like Rat Ogres or something like that. I got the Death Creepers regiment around. Let's check out these guys. Looks like they came from a MGMT concert, yo. Like, look at these guys. They're loading up. Sorry if you hear my WhatsApp going off. Talking with some homies today. Yeah. Nice to hear from you too, guys. I'll get right to you when this video is up. So that's my WhatsApp if you hear it. The Death Creeper's just shooting in stock regeneration poison attacks. Decent flankers. And I'm moving in with the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers that are anti-infantry. And I got the same basic set over there, except it's more Grimps Major Arrs. Let's let this hit. Yeah, listen to that beautiful goblin screaming. And it wasn't ideal, but I'm trying to sneak the boars in behind now, get into that fat pocket and charge him from the back. He's moving up in that formation. Dropped my war boss on Trex Traventail over here as he was coming in. Thought I could bully him a bit, but Trex just got anti-large. That wasn't probably not a good idea. Just not a good idea. I could have helped those Orc boys to help bully him, but I'm moving them out to deal with these Skaven Slave Spears, who are just going to move in on my Orc Boar Boy Biggins because I'm focused elsewhere, I think probably with my War Boss, etc. And also just catching these Hell Pit Abominations, which are, yeah, already into my lines. Already into the Orc Boys, already into the Night Goblins. And the Orc Boys are just kind of standard infantry, so they're not going to do too well. The Black Orcs, though, are a lot more solid. They got really nice stats. They're armored, armor piercing, so they should hold out, but they're still not ideal because I don't think they have anti-large. I have popped a Waaaaaaagh, that green flame going up around my banners. It's a Waaaaaaagh. It's giving the orcs a damage boost and a vigor boost, I'm pretty sure. My war boss got away from Tretch, which is a good idea. Now the orc boys are trying to bully him. And oh, a Foot of Gork from my Orc Shaman. That's the nuclear bomb. The spellcaster I have is casting there. And these guys, come on, guys, get in there, get in the rear. Like, the pocket's opened up, and what am I doing? I'm chasing the Plague Monk Sensor Bears with my Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Gonna try and get a rear charge in, but you'll see they get gummed up on the Plague Priest and his like altar of coronavirus, and it just doesn't go. Unfortunately, that can happen. They can get units with a lot of mass can bog down your units. Looks like he's summoning some more Skaven with an army ability. Not so good. I'm moving off. I'm chasing off the Abomination, trying to focus it down with my Black Orcs because it's the best thing I got, really. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins fighting the Plague Priest is actually okay because they get a bonus against large, but now I'm skirting past with these Squig Hoppers coming from the other side. Going to try and charge with the rear of these Sensor Bears. Let's see this. Woo! And with the War Boss, good. Let's hit them hard. Very good. So that is elite infantry, and they are going to be debuffing my troops. And I want to pull out, but again, I'm having to focus on multiple things going on everywhere. So these Squigs and such are coming in here. Looks like I'm just going to be charging them into Clan Rat Spears. You know, maybe not ideal, but whatever. It's good. At least they're getting into it. The Death Creeper's firing in. Might change the target to the Hell Pit Abomination, because my god, that one is... That's the double chevron one, too, so it's got the extra investment in it. My Orc Shaman who's routed is coming back. I might get a couple spells off with him, but I didn't get another good Foot of Gork off. And I should have used it on the Sensor Bears. I kind of wasted it. And that was another one that I do believe I wasted. They got out of the way just in time. If I'd only held them in place a little bit longer... You know, Black Orcs, though, gonna be... How are they doing? They're fair. No, they're below half. Not ideal. Orc Boar Boy Biggins chasing down this Hell Pit Abomination in the woods. That's the best thing I can do with them, really. If they can just surround him and bog him down, keep him out of the fight for a little bit longer, give those Black Orcs time to chew through. Got some Night Goblins firing in. Like, it's okay. Oh, but he used a nasty little breath attack there. I don't know if I got my Black Orcs. The Plague Priest still coming in. Routing over here, though, with the Sensor Bears. So, yeah, because I left the Squig Hoppers into combat. They're ideal for charging and pulling out. You really got to be... Yeah, and I tried to hit the Hell Pit Abomination with the Foot of Gork. It was ballsy. I should have used the Stair or something, but I thought if I could just bring him down, you know, chunk him down. If we could just hold that position. It was a bad gamble, though. And a Vindictive Glare or something like that, a more focused magic attack from my Orc Shaman over here would have been much more effective against that Hell Pit Abomination. Oh, I'm getting notifications. Oh, I got an email from work. That's great. If you heard that, that's good to know. Yeah, we're still off. We're all still off work here in Hanoi. You know, because of Corona Chan's visit. What's going on over here? Yeah. So the Plague Priest, I think I'm gonna catch, isolate him, and try and finish him out over here. Got the Orc board against charging in against him. That's good. Have chased off this Hell Pit Abomination, but it's probably gonna come back. He said it's a special ability that like helps it regain. Has he got Verminous Valor? So Tretch, Craven Tail, popped an explosion. Not ideal against Cavalry, but now I'm just gonna try and make sure I bully this Plague Priest. Just don't let him get away. Bully the heck out of him with the Waaaaaaagh going on. Melt his health with that damage I'm getting from the extra damage I'm getting from the Waaaaaaagh. Shooting at the Hell Pit Abomination, poisoning it up as much as possible with the Death Creepers. Hopefully that helps. And I got these group of Squig Hoppers that routed up on the hill, and this group of Savage Orcs that I just forget about, and now would have been the time to bring them in. I did spot a couple groups of Orc boys out over on this, and I'm bringing them to chasing the Plague Bearers, so that feels like I've covered that. If I'd only remembered to bring in those Squig Hoppers, they could have made a huge difference charging into those Plague Monk Sensor Bears, just chunking them down that much quicker, leaving behind just enough Black Orcs to bog up that Hell Pit Abomination and just put enough damage in. But he's gotten into my Night Goblin, the Rusty Arrers. That's not good. This one's circling around through the woods too. Really, I just have a massive infantry and those Orc Boar Boys to try and deal with those Hell Pit Abominations, but I just use them to kind of try and bully this Plague Priest. He's way out of there now, but I think I also tried to kill Tretch. I think I might have killed Tretch. I don't know where the Plague Priest is, but yeah, he's routed, and I think I killed Tretch. So I was going for his leadership, and now I'm sending the War Boss off to the low health Abomination, and trying to send these Orc Boar Boys and Savage Orcs against this Hell Pit Abomination. It would have been so good if I just remembered that clump of Savage Orcs in time and had them moving a little earlier, and again brought these Orc Boys back, who are now going to join with the Sensor Bears, and let's see how this battle goes. It's kind of a nice little fringe battle. The Plague Sensor Bear is already routing, which is good. Like, good boys, good boys. Yeah, get them, boys, get them! The boys, the boys, the boys, the boys! Yeah, they are literally called boys. Man, I love the Orcs. Anyway, they are green skins, man. So now this is a bit of a mess. The other Abominations come in, the Clan Rat Spears, and the Black Orcs, having done a lot of damage, down to 18 models, 18 individual units. More groups, Major Robbers, out of ammunition, charging in, bringing in everything here, just in a clump. The Death Creepers fighting in melee with the Clan Rat Spears, really not ideal. Probably should pull them out and cycle charge, let those Orc Boys get involved in them. And the Orc Boar Boy begins out here with the War Boss, and they are Orc Boar Boys down to 12 models, just not enough. Hell Pit Abomination almost dead, popping another Waaaaaaagh. Really should have kept the Lord in combat with those Sensor Bears, but Hell Pit Abomination and Sensor Bears have caught out my War Boss, so I was trying to get away and get into the other fight, and that was a really clutch move on his part, because that Abomination, those Sensor Bears are going to be able to bully my War Boss out of existence. I've got nothing to help him, nothing to support him, and they're probably going to kill him, unless he can flee. I'm trying now. I'm trying to bring in my boys now. All attack move on the Hell Pit Abomination. Do they kill my War Boss? Do they kill him? I don't think they do. He routs, but he's like well shattered. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. He's probably gonna, yeah, he's gonna go right off the edge of the map. He's gone. Oh, my War Boss is gone. So that's basically it now. It's just it's Hell Pit Abominations, but they've had their they've healed. They've recovered a bunch of their I think HP. This guy will, because they've got a special ability, Too Horrible to Die, where they'll just, if they get low enough, there's a good chance they might just like regain all their health, which is like, what? But that's maybe why they can be so OP. They can be dealt with. You just need the right answer, and I didn't really have the right answer for them. And I didn't deploy my cavalry effectively enough to mitigate his infantry enough to be able to focus more on my Black Orcs and real damage dealers on the Hell Pit Abominations. Squig Hoppers were not used effectively, and that's what cost me, basically. And also the spells with the Orc Shaman I didn't deploy properly. I guess I really should practice my green skin game, but oh well. It's the year of the freaking rat. Run! Run! Oh boy. Let's check the kill count, shall we? All right, let's see. We got so yeah, so my war boss 38. 62, 53, 50, 74. Yeah, I should have 157 on that Night Goblin Swig Hopper. See, that's the potential they have if they get deployed properly. If a few more charges into those Plague Monks with these Squig Hoppers, then that game would have gone, I think, very much differently. Very much differently indeed. And if I could have had all my archers, like, all focusing on those Hell Pit Abominations, with the Orc Boy, with 2 groups of Orc Boys on them, I think that might have... You should throw everything you can at them, and maybe a couple glares with the Shaman instead of the Foot of Gork. Just do some precise damage spells, because the Abominations are such big targets anyway, and they got 78 and 89 kills respectively. Here they are, the Hell Pit Abominations, see, and Plague Monk Sensor Bears did a good number. So he used his Plague Monks and his Abominations really well, really effectively. Fitting. Disease spreading. Ignja. You Skaven, you rat, men. You plague priest and your stuff. And that's not even the most plaguey Skaven lord. There's, what's his name? I don't play Skaven that much, but it's, oh, I can't even believe it. Lord Skroak. There we go. That's his name. He's like Mr. Plague Man. He's got all kind of horrible skin and stuff. And he's like the god of disease, basically, in the Skaven. And, but yeah, but that's it. It's my first game. I'm back. Sorry about all the rambling. It's your boy Benvolio. And I'll keep it real till next time. For the boys back home, all that good stuff.